Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whatever it is that you are watching this. Welcome to Unit 9, Function Tables. We're going to talk about function notation, starting with how to tell if something is a function based on a table. Let's get into it. Today we'll know we have met today's success criteria if I can successfully determine whether or not a table is a function. First here, function, the definition of what a function is. It's a relationship that pairs each input value with an output value. And for each input value, there's exactly one output. Okay? So for every input I have, I can only have one output value. It's exactly 1. Your input value is always your x, and your output is always your y. Your independent variable is always your x. Your dependent variable is always your y. Y depends on the x. Y is a function of x. I know that's a little weird and whatnot, but again, dependent variable, something depends on another thing. X will remain consistent. Y is something that's going to change. Let's find out. The number of days you rent your car, is that an independent or a dependent variable? Is that an X or a Y? Well, that's an X. That's independent. The cost of renting the car will be your Y. Depending on how many days you rent a car, it'll change the cost. The cost of renting the car depends on the number of days. Is that a function? Yes, that is a function because for every input, there's only one output. If I rent the car for 1 day, it'll be a certain cost. It's not going to be 2 different costs for 1 day. The age of an office building, the height of an office building, is that a function? No, it is not a function. I can have a building that's 10 years old. I can have a building that's 15 years old. They can both be 40 feet tall. It doesn't matter the age. That is not a function. That has some inputs, might have 2 outputs. The average speed of a car, x. The distance a car travels in an hour, y. Is that a function or is that not a function? That is a function. If we're talking about one specific car, that is a function. Let's keep going. Let me make this a little bit smaller. Here's what we call a function machine. What's going to go in is going to be each input. That's going to go into your machine. You're going to put your input in. It's going to go through your function. This is how we write function, the function of x. Also, we call that a rule. Input goes in, and out comes your exactly 1 output. Okay. Input goes in, goes through your function, your rule, and then out comes your output. We're going to put our x's in, and out is going to come our y's. I'm going to leave that for this part of the video. Come back and check for the next part. I don't want to make these videos too long for you. Have a great day. Send any questions. Check part 2.